as I climb in. Burning bitches in my third trimester. Shit ties, they tell me you lying. Don't care, just lay it beside me. Hey time, chasing a rewind. Hey time, I need more space and security. I need less voices, just you and me. I need your touch, not just scrutiny. Squeezing too tight, boy, you're losing me. Boy, you're losing. Go on, girl, go on, girl. You better learn how to face this shit. Go on, girl, so go on, girl. Never replace this shit. Go on, girl, and go on, girl. You better learn how to face this shit. Go on, girl, so go on, girl. Can't think it's yours to process. Get more of you and I regress. I decide the demons I digest. All this hurt repeating I digress. Trying to find deeper meaning in nonsense. Trying to grow without hating the process. Tired of anticipating the worst, yeah. Still anticipating the worst. I need more space to
Lord, Lord, Lord. Y'all, we are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Beautiful people. Yes, Breeze. Beautiful people. Come on in the room. We are back tonight to talk something very crazy. Okay. Something that we pulled out of our bag of tricks and we decided it was worth a conversation. I am talking POLYFAMILY, which is a brand new series that dropped just a couple of days ago on TLC, and it's full of mess, y'all. However you stand, and hopefully we'll get some clarity on where everybody stands in the poly world or not, you can't deny that there's stuff to talk about. But before we get into it, Tyra, how are you today? Are you ready to dive in to these poly people, honey?
You know I'm awesome. It takes you to get me over here in these TLC streets. This is TLC, right?
It is, and is.
Girl, this is just not the roads I travel down. This is interesting. It's a whole lot to talk about, and I want to know what you have to say and what everybody in this chat has to say because this is messy.
That's what I want to know. I want to know where they at. Hey, Tony T, let's say hello to everyone really quick, and we will jump right in it. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Yes, praise God. Happy Friday. Miriam says, "Hey, boo, let's get into these freaky frogs," and is because I don't know. TP, hey, how are you? What's going on, Breeze? What's going on? Hey, Shawnee C. She says, "Hey, friend,
Hey,
proud of you,
boo,
love you. Can't wait for this live."
you watch this, Shauna? Okay.
Hey, Jeff Short. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Darfalina. How you doing today, friend? What's going on, Nary's 21? We all in the room. We stand with Messi and do every time. Hey, Aisha, what's going on? What's going on? Bree said it's definitely different, and it absolutely is. Shawnee says the show is messy, and I'm here for it. Listen, as am I. I can't deny it, and let me just get to the slides, honey. Because listen, but for now, you can be first place, honey.
You trying to make me bigger?
Yeah, girl, because I did all this on a different computer, and of course, nothing too,
Oh.
girl, just discombobulated today. But we are going to get all into the thick of it. But as you know, had we start every single live, I'm going to want to know from you as soon as the slide comes up, Tyra, just your overall thoughts in general after watching episode 1. And I want to know from you, could you be poly?
First, no. Okay, we're gonna start there. No, it takes a special kind of person to be poly, and I am not one of those people. I have no desire to share my partner with anybody. I'm selfish and a selfish lover. My man, my man, my man, my girl, my woman, my whatever. It's mine, and I want to share it with nobody else. This is extremely complicated. overall thoughts of this show. This show is really messy, but really interesting because, well, I don't know, because y'all being them poly TLC brother, daddy, sister, cousin, looking, seeking sister, husband streets. I'm rarely over there, but a lot of what I see when it comes to poly, especially in the realm of social media, it's just all peachy. It's all perfect, and we all love each other. It's all harmony. It's just everything's just great. And then you get here, you're like, this is complicated and messy as hell. If y'all don't like each other and want a wife partner swap, just do it already, okay? We don't have to finish how we started. If it has to be this complicated, it's just like, well, damn. The idea of poly, well, from what I see, is to not only explore these desires and things you have, not just sexually and emotionally, but you don't have that desire to find all that you need in one partner. You find it elsewhere, and if lucky, y'all can be blended and we're all just happy together. What is the point of being together and being poly if you gonna deal with them same problems that you're dealing with when you're not? Is this not supposed to be easier? Are you not getting everything that you want here? Why is it so messy? I don't know. I want to know where it's going because these my kids.
Oh, Tyra, we're gonna dive into it. I don't know. For whatever reason, I've always been fascinated by the lifestyle, whether it is religious based or whether or not these are just people's freak factory and this is just what they want to do and how they want to live their lives. Could I do it? No, I don't think I'm built for it. I think it takes a special person to be built for it. But am I more morally opposed? Not necessarily. I just think it takes a rare breed to be able to do this because from my limited outside view in, it's always an issue of jealousy. It's always an issue of, well, he didn't touch me like he touched you, or he didn't breathe on my neck the way he breathed on your neck. I didn't scream as loud as she screamed, so something must be wrong. There always is this weird imbalance with it, it seems. But as far as like the origin of it for like nation building, I understand it in theory, right? But I just don't think many people are capable either financially of living a true poly lifestyle or emotionally. I think it wrecks these people, Tyra.
Hmm. Well, I will at least say that I like that they are giving a genuine perception of poly. Because if you let the internet tell it, poly is a man full of sister wives. Like that's not that.
Mhm.
That's not that. When it's just like, oh, it's one man and it's a wife and maybe a house full of concubines or something. I don't know. That is not the same thing. Please label it correctly. They are really living full blown poly.
Absolutely. And so what we learned, okay, but the episode. So you like how it's presented. You like that these are real people. They look like real people.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say that. Was it as salacious in the first episode as I thought it was gonna be? No. But again, this is reality TV, and a lot of times we're going to build to that. But absolutely, constant competition is wild because there's no way I'm gonna compete in my own house. But let's get into it and let's meet the people, honey. So we have two couples. I believe one was married for 11 years before the other couple was married for 6. We have Alysia and Tyler on the left. They are married to each other. And then we have Taya and Sean on the right. They are married to each other. Okay. They, listen, this started out very trifling. I just want you to know. They were into swinging originally, right? I believe the Tyler and Alysia couple were. And they said, you know what? We want to take this one step further. We're going to put an ad in the paper.
Like, we still doing that?
To get they put an ad somewhere. I don't know if it was Craigslist. I don't know if it was the back door on the internet. I don't know if it was an app or a real newspaper, but they put an ad out because they wanted to extend their freak factory, their freak activity, and they happened to come up with Taya. We find out that Alysia and Taya, they bump pocketbooks sometimes, but the men don't at all.
Girl.
It's very different because you have Alysia and Tyler. They have 2 children from their marriage. She's very type A. He's very emotional, very much a free spirit. On the other side, you have Taya, who's very much a free spirit, and Sean, who's very type A. Tyra, just upon meeting these people, I want to know who your favorite is and what do you think of how this all came together?
Favorite? That's putting a lot on it, ain't
I have a favorite. I'll tell you mine. Taya.
I mean, if I
Taya
had to
the
pick
girl.
somebody, it would be Tyler.
Oh,
I guess because I don't know. Tyler is my favorite because there seems to be like an undertone of I'm about to pop off. The aspects of what it could be when it gets really juicy and really messy, I think is going to come from Tyler because Tyler is Mr. Nice Guy and Tyler is pretending. Tyler is unhappy. These women here, that's that. These men don't like each other. That is very
at all.
interesting.
At all.
It's one thing to, you guys aren't that type of, poly, y'all not doing anything sexually. That's fine. Y'all don't like each other. How in the hell are you supposed to be content in this home, raise children long term when in real life we probably wouldn't even be friends? I really don't like him. Like what?
Oh, we
What,
gonna get
what
into
like
him.
what is it all for? Them in this I don't know. It I don't know. It seems kind of weird to me that they have that rule in place to where they're literally swapping pretty much every day. Like, is
Mhm.
that necessary? I mean, I guess to each his own, but it seems like a lenient type situation. Like if there is an issue and y'all want to be poly and be open, if this rule wasn't in place, would you be spending all of your time with this person? And hell, I'm practically non-existent and we're in the same home. And it
Mhm.
seems like that's what was kind of happening before. So now we have to put this rule in place to where we're swapping every single night. Like that's a little crazy, but there's so much tension here. And these seem like, all to do well people. It seems like they found their type in the other person's partner.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, if it's all of that, it's just I don't know. This is just weird. It's almost like, build a woman or build a man, because you get a man, you get whatever, and Ashley will tell you different, but you're not gonna find everything you need in one partner. You're not gonna find everything you need in one partner, and it's like it's the best of both worlds here. And even with all of this here, you guys are still finding space to be inconsistent, unhappy, have tension. It seems like they're having problems that your everyday, average couple is having. But it's one thing to have those problems just in the midst of each other. I don't want to have that problem with two other grown ass adults in a home that we have to like. They're not playing at this. They got a whole income and home, and we're sharing. There's so many assets and children that we have to break down if we say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, or you know what, I want to go be with this person, or what if one partner wants to be? It's just so nasty and so complicated. But the worst thing ever is these two men not like there's a lack of like respect. Like it's just what are we supposed to do here with this? I don't understand how they're expecting this to go on for any longer than it already is. I feel like it's a bomb that's waiting to go off.
Girl, we gonna get into them specifically and the dynamics of it all. But I'm gonna say Taya is my favorite so far. I think she's fun. I feel like she's lighthearted. She's not as deep and intense as all the rest of them are. She's just chilling. Like she's like, I'm a freak. I want my live-in D. You know what I mean? I like Tyler more than I like my husband. And I'm gonna just be over there with him. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, that's what we get from them. And of course, we'll get into the dynamic of the swap and all of that. And as far as what you said, as far as every night, I think every situation is different. So they call their situation a closed quad, meaning there's four of them and they don't have any outside people come in. And so they literally rotate the bedrooms every night. The women have their own rooms and the husbands don't have their own rooms. They have to
Pillow.
they have a pillow and they have to go between. Now, what I will say is I was very interested because normally, well, I won't say normally because we have the OG sister wives and, everyone wasn't as aesthetically pleasing. But, a lot of times, especially on social media, when we see poly people, they're very beautiful,
Yeah.
very vivacious, body tea, all of that. And this wasn't
Regular. Regular.
right. So I want to know from you why. What do you think the why is? And you guys drop it in the comments for me as well. Is this about being greedy? Is this some utter gutter bucket perversion? Or do you think this really is about expanding the family and being like, just this, four-person nuclear family. What do you think it is?
Actually, gutter bucket perversion is crazy. Um,
What do you
I
think?
don't know. Even the way that they scope it, it would be different if they were actively seeking somebody out to be poly. And I don't know how you even get to that to where you know that that's what you want to do, but it seems like it will be something that you discuss with your partner overall, and you start to seek that out. We were just seeking, to spice things up from what it sounded like before, and then it's like, well, I just wanted to see such and such so bad, and we were just over there so often, and it just progressed into, to something else. And it just seemed like something that just moved so abruptly and so quickly because these people were, separate and married and living their best lives. And it seems dangerous. It seems dangerous that whatever was supposed to be, a little swingers type activity, it grew into this to where you have a need and a desire to see this person more than your wife, who was, fine, for this whole decade. But now it's like, ooh, it was just kind of, it seems like, kind of a shiny new toy. You got this old ass toy over here. You've been playing with it for a long time. It don't look as good. When you go over here and it's spicy and it's fun and it's loose, and then it's all of those things. But when we try to cohabitate and we have to be adults and we have to incorporate jobs, bills, children, and pregnancies and things like that, then it gets really, really serious. Girl, when that man stood up there and said, oh, we already got all these mouths to feed, it's already a circus up in here, I'm happy, but I'm nervous. Like, what did you expect? Like, what do y'all think these babies come from? Like, what is going on? Like, I I'm just really unsure with them. This could be, the most loving thing, and we all jointly became poly, even though we didn't mean to, and we have really good intentions. Or I'm really seeking something in this other partner that I never knew I needed, and I really want to spend some time with them. Let's move in. It's just, I don't know. Something about them doesn't feel as concrete for me.
Absolutely. This is lusty to me. It all stemmed from lust. And I think they're trying to make the best of it because at the end of the day, these people don't want their existing marriages. They don't. They prefer their boyfriends and their girlfriend. They do not like, you're not going to make me believe it. I think it's kind of cute or whatever. And Taya, I think, even says it, I can't get everything, like you said just a couple minutes ago, all in one person. So basically, I'm going to build a man. I get what I need from Sean and I get what I need from Tyler. I think this is greedy and I think it's lusty. I think it turned into family. But their original motive in all of this was just to get some better D or some better cooch. That's honestly how I feel about them. So this is where we can kind of get into the vibes because it's very contentious almost, and they're trying to make it cute in this first episode. But clearly, like you said, the two dudes do not get along at all. But as far as the vibes in the house, could you live in a home like this? As far as Alysia, let's be honest, is in constant jealousy of Taya for whatever reason. Taya said, and I have a whole slide about it, she can't keep up with me. So now we don't even kiss in front of her because, I'm freakier than she is. I go there. I go to the jungle with Tyler, and she's not capable of that. And it seems to me, from what we've heard from Alysia, all she's concerned about is her list with Sean, or what Tyler is doing to Taya and how he's looking at her and how he's rubbing on her. And does he love me like he loves her? Is this vibe something that you could contend with? And how do you think they're going to manage this?
Hell no. No, absolutely not. Like, the way Tyler just in this first episode is so giggity, like, we get it in, boy, we getting it in. Whoo, Lord, we have sex a lot. Like, he's all in with that. I thought that this would defeat the whole purpose of being poly. I thought you were supposed to be open. Child, if we're sitting there and it's just like, whoo, Lord, Tyler had his way with me last night. Like, girl, you know how he gets. Like, like, it's the key. You're over here, it's tension and it's jealousy, and I wonder, they're spending so much time together. He seems to be more into her. Like, Lord, like, it's why would you torture yourself in that way?
Yeah.
Because it's being perceived as like Tyler's cheating in her face. And I thought that was the not the purpose of being poly. I thought everybody was supposed to be confident and comfortable with their partner or swapping or thereof. And no matter who's with who, we love each other all the same and we're happy. We're not perfect, but we know what this is. No, it seems like at the drop of a dime, she's like, well, are you going to leave me? Like, and I was already concerned before, we got the previous we saw later with Taya, because she is the youngest one here. And when she said, like, oh, these years and such, and we broke it down and he was the supervisor, I was like, girl, so you were like 19, 20 when you met
Mhm.
old baby back there? Have you lived yet? Have you, been outside? Did you experience all the life you wanted to experience before you got tied into this situation? Which lends itself well to poly, because I was young and married, early on when I got with this older man, but now I kind of get to kind of cheat inside my marriage and experience somebody else, all while still being faithful to my poly husband. That was already alarming. It's just it's weird. It's weird. They seem really content with each other, and it's very comfortable, very lust, this sexual vibe. And then the other couple over here, it's very, old, maiden shoes, like, oh, we got these checklists and groceries and type A. And and she does like the fact that he's more a little bit more masculine and say it like I mean it type of personality, where Tyler is non-confrontational. They just seem to fit better with the other partner, but yet and still you're still very concerned about what your husband is doing with this other woman.
Absolutely. And I think you always run into that, because I think when you're married, for better or for worse, I believe it comes with some level of like territorialness. Like, this is my husband. Like, that's my wife, just like it's y'all's kids. But we'll get into that. But as far as the vibes, I don't like Sean. Immediately no for me. He's very he comes across to me as abrasive, like he doesn't give a damn how anybody's gonna take whatever he says. It seems like he has no tact. And to your point, it does. I wondered about the age gap, because it does almost feel like this could have potentially been a grooming type of situation. And you see it in a lot of the poly shows. They get together very young. They get these girls when they're 19, 20, 21, where they're a little bit more impressionable, a little bit more open, or easily convinced, I'll say, to do something. Not saying that that's their story, just how this reads for me. Alysia, I just think she's very insecure, unfortunately. And I'm like, I think to be in a successful poly situation, you have to be confident. You have to know who you are. You have to know you find, you know what I'm saying? You have to just come with that. Like I said, Ty is my favorite, just because I don't feel all of the extraness with her. I just feel like she's being herself. And Tyler, he's weak. And I can't stand a weak-willed man. I can't stand a weak-willed man. I hate it. Mealy mouth. You can't speak up. Like, ugh. This is my next question to you, though. Why not just swap? Like, why even pretend? Because it's clear that Tyler and Taya like each other, okay, and it's clear that Alysia and Sean get along better. Like you said, these are the couples that I believe, mainly Taya and Tyler. These folks is in love with each other. And they just, I don't know why they're holding on to the rest of it. Maybe it's now they have these 5 kids, but why not just swap? Like, why not?
Because we came here, we got these 5 kids, but 2 of these kids, we got kids. I got kids with my wife. We have time in. I think once you commit to something, and as well as as well as the wife, she got the old man over there. I don't want to say old man, but she has him over there. They have prior commitments. I think um I think they're just having fun. I think she's finding what she needs, and she did settle so early. And I think that he probably didn't know, like, this is something I never knew I needed until we, went outside of the inside outside of the marriage to have another partner. And maybe I have, more chemistry and more in common with this person, but this is kind of what we, set up. And from what it sounds like, it was the other husband's idea to go like, okay, this back and forth is a lot. How about we all just cohabitate? This wasn't, this wasn't their idea. It was, what is the other husband's name?
Sean?
Sean. This was Sean's idea. Like, oh, everybody was thinking like, oh, it wouldn't work or it would be a lie, but here we are. this was, this wasn't a collective idea to do this, but it's like, well, since we here, because he was the main one in the camera, like I couldn't stop thinking about her. I needed to see her. I just needed to feel her. We were just going back and forth so often. And then Sean was like, oh, well, why not? Like, yeah, he just seemed like he really wanted to spend more time with her. So he's living his best life.
Yeah, they're both getting out of it whatever they want. I don't know. I just get more steam heat from this couple, and it is probably because they're talking about how good of a time, honey, they be having. But now let's get here because this is what makes it icky for me. Because like I said, like morally, I don't have a thing if that's what somebody chooses to do with their life and they're grown, consenting adults. My issue comes when I feel like there's children involved that could potentially be harmed from it, and maybe not harmed in the traditional sense. Like I wouldn't say like SA or anything like that's going on, but just in the fact that these two young babies don't know who their bio fathers are, which is a dangerous thing, period. Like, what if something happens, the baby needs a blood transfusion? Like, these are things we need to know. What happens if you guys break up and all go your separate ways? How is custody then divvied out between these four parents? And then also, what does that create in their mind as far as normalcy, especially when they're interacting in the world? I don't know what that does. And then also there kind of begs the question, what do they think when they see mommy go into daddy's room one night and then goes into the other daddy's the next night? How much are they seeing? You know what I mean? With all of this carrying on. The house wasn't that big, Tyra.
No. They got that little baby gate up. Say, is that what's that supposed to do? I hope that's just for the children because that's not separating anything. I was really hoping that these people didn't have any children.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping because I think the ideal thing, especially if this isn't something you have, well, we've been consistently poly for, the past 15, 20 years, and now we want to embark on, it just seems so unsure. And the fact that we did this and we already had two children already in a marriage, that is crazy to me. I'm concerned for these older babies as well because it's conflicting to have, and I'm sure you have something for that, but I don't care what the dynamics are. You're not going to tell me about my children. You're just not. You're just not like, you're just not. I can't wrap my mind around you not being a biological parent, the mother, the anything, and in the most dominant way, you're going to tell me what I'm doing with my
Oh,
children.
oh yeah, we're gonna get to it.
Not doing that. The foolishness of playing who's the baby daddy, ridiculous.
Crazy,
That is stupid.
crazy.
That is stupid. If they are going to be bringing children into the world all willy nilly because they act like, oh, I don't know, wait, she just fell on top of me and a baby came out. Okay, it would be hell on them and on these children to, at least if they knew ahead of time, you could prepare yourself for if anything were to happen. These are my children. These, because the children, they're going with the biological parent. That's just, as long as everything is everything financially and it's a safe environment, they're going to go with the biological parent. So if you set up there and foolishly put all your stock in these children, this is my son, and we're going to be together forever, and Lord forbid something happens and this child is removed from the home, removed from you to never see you again, you will literally die inside. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do it to who is this? Is this Tyler? Tyler is definitely setting himself up.
Mhm.
Tyler's setting himself up. Sean, they're all setting each other up because we're putting on a brave face in the home. If at any moment, let's just say they all took tests and all these children belong to Sean, Tyler would die inside twice. Like, why are we pretending like, oh, it doesn't matter, if later on they want to know? There is no later on. Why would you subject them or yourselves to that if later on you guys don't work out and have to separate and one of these babies have grown accustomed to either the complete dynamic
Mhm.
or everybody's here, but at the end of the day, Daddy Sean is my dad, and then you never get to see Daddy Sean again. Like, that is terrible. If something happens health wise, if something we don't know what it's like, who's making the decisions, who's signing on the dotted line, who's on the birth, like what is going on? And it's just so delusional to sit up here and, well, I'm the daddy and I'm the dad, and it was all cute to have that baby out there and name the babies and oh yeah, that's fine and dandy. But what's gonna happen when Ish falls apart? Because it will.
Mhm.
When these kids, because you already having a complication with your 7 and 8 year old, and we have a new baby coming. How do we make a decision on parenting if we can't even sit on a couch next to each other without an elephant in the room?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's sick and sad for me. I especially with, like you said, the older kids, because I think they're just at such an impressionable age right now, and just kind of understanding the dynamic. They were raised 5 years with their bio parents, and now you're introducing another set of parents that, I mean, the way it's looking, supersede your bio parents as far as who's putting the smack down and whatnot. It's just very uncomfortable and odd to me. And the fact that she said, "Oh, I didn't know, like, knowing the blood type would help me know who the,"
Stupid girl,
I was like,
stupid.
"Girl,
They
you know that's
stupid.
how they determine the
Oh,
Dana,
they
right,
know.
baby? Like you know that." Yeah, I do too. I think that Sean is infertile. I do. I think that these are all Tyler's kids. And I just say that because Taya and him were married for all that time and didn't have any kids. And now over here, she's instantly pregnant twice. Like, I think Tyler, the baby pappy to all them kids. That's my opinion. That's what I think. That's my yarn I'm knitting. But yeah, I just think it's so dangerous. I think it's icky and I think it's dangerous. And I don't think it shows that you guys thought this out well and made a plan. And I mean, not for nothing, but go over there and watch Big Love, honey, and see how that man had them. He had each of them heifers set up in their own house, honey. They had their own situation set up, each in the house with their own kids. Not saying they couldn't mix and mingle, but there had to be a better way, which makes me feel like this is something they just jumped into and didn't have a plan, because this is dumb. Like, y'all need to know. Y'all get the Dana, and I'm sure Sean done went and ran it. I'm sure he.
You think Sean?
Yep, I do. I do. I think he swabbed them, and went on.
If he did, that would explain, that need to be the parent, because I respect my authority around the house, because you know that none of these children are yours.
That's what I think. I mean, but I don't, but I don't know. But now we're here. What could go wrong, Tyra? What could go wrong in this situation? And I wanted to highlight Alysia here because she's going to be our most problematic, I feel. Outside of course, this this rivalry between the two of them. Because, like I said, I just feel like she's really insecure in this situation. She's always on edge. She's always worrying about what's going on in that other bedroom. Why would she do this, Tyra? And what else do you think can go wrong here?
Just looking, because we see their photos before, and clearly, we've had children, we've aged, we've put on weight, like physically things have changed. So I'm sure that that's a factor. And then you get in here and your husband big desiring a whole woman in your face, like sexual, the appetite is real. Tyler love it over there.
Maybe.
Tyler loves it over there real bad. And even the way that we have Alyssa kind of speak on her, like, oh, we just kind of have to, tend to her delicate, actually in those delicate sensibilities. Like, oh, she tends, to read into certain things, and it's just a lot. So I feel like I kind of have to walk on eggshells around her and watch what I say, because she's so sensitive. This is awful.
Hmm.
This is awful, and she's gonna fall apart. She's gonna fall apart. I'm like, how long is this gonna be conducive to a real relationship? There isn't enough list or grocery store runs that you could do to subdue your feelings. You have them. And I want to, get into the later episodes and see her interactions with Tyler. Like, if you speak on it, like what happens? Is he not gonna spend more time with her? Is he not gonna, have sex with her? That's always gonna be a factor. All he can do is, oh, like, oh, babe, what? It's always, girl, love you. Don't you know? Like, precious. Give her a little, a little, and then go on her way. Like, that's just not enough for her. And this isn't conducive to anything healthy in the future.
Girl, read this comment from Joshua.
The big white woman always has a man. The big white woman always has a
Yeah.
man.
He just said
Okay.
that needed to be heard. The nations needed to hear that. Because honestly, and like Taya said, I'm trying my best again to walk on eggshells so that I don't upset her or make her jealous because she can't keep up because I'm younger and faster. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But then outside of that, we also got a glimpse into the different family dynamics, right? And find out that Taya's family is the only one that's accepting of this quad relationship. We find out that Sean's people are all no longer in the land of the living. We find out that Tyler's mom and dad don't accept it either, and Alysia only accepts Tyler. Her family only accepts Tyler, and of course her as their family. And so she's also jealous of that. Even when they go out and we see Taya's mom, oh, I just now I have all these grandbabies, and I just love it. And I can't imagine anyone coming from a family who didn't have this type of love. And she's like, well, look at me. So again, we have jealousy and envy, and she admits the enviousness in this part. And I'm just like, oh, girl, you're just wearing it. Why would you want to live a life of envy? That just seems so.
I I think that's why she probably ventured over to like, okay, we're gonna have like a little sexual thing with each other. I think she was trying to compete. I don't think it was like any desire or like true attraction that she was, hanging out with Alyssa whenever they were doing what they were doing. I think she was probably trying to join them in the bedroom and compete and like, I'm still here. And he was like, get your ass out of here. Get out of here. Like let's break it down and keep it separate. I don't think it was anything like sexual or she wanted to explore something. I think she was in that bedroom trying to compete, trying to see, trying to participate, and like, yeah. You remember that movie we watched? It
Mhm.
wasn't giving that.
Lord, no. TP says, if I have to share you, you're not mine. If you have to share me, you knew I was for the streets. TP. No, we're not doing this with you. We're not. Yeah, none of this is going to end well, Elle. Absolutely none of it. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Complete disaster. But the other problem, what could go wrong? Producer, how would you describe your relationship? We don't have one. I'm focused on these women and these kids. I could give a damn about Tyler. And Tyler's just sitting there like, yeah, pretty much. At every moment, it gives Sean is sunning Tyler. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm older. I've been here. If your daddy would have halfway raised you, I wouldn't have to raise your kids, is what it gives. And so they're at each other's throat. Sean oversteps boundaries because we have a situation in this episode where Tyler's bio daughter, is grounded for lying. And you clarify grounding to me because punishment and grounding, I mean, I still could talk to my mama.
He
Like
said, get in the basement.
he said, go in the basement. You're on punishment.
I was like, what?
Dilly-dallying. Tyler said, I just got off work. Like I'm trying to talk to my daughter. Girl, I said get in the basement. You on punishment. Like you can't be out here. I said, what the hell kind of groundation is that, Tyra? Is that how you ground your
Literally.
kids? Your kids can't talk to you when they
Get
ground.
on the ground. Get in the basement. You're grounded. Get down there. Get downstairs. I was like, what? I was confused for a second. So I was like, isn't Tyler the biological dad? I completely understand them wanting to be equal opportunity around the house and we're all going to parent and discipline the children. Respectfully, you're not going to overstep to the point that I have to explain why, if, and how long I get to talk to my own damn children. What the hell is going on? I thought that was so ridiculous. And I feel like Sean is overcompensating because he do feel a little aggy at the fact that they over there living their best life and all this, oh, it's just that. And the possibility that, these children might not be his. So now he's trying to display his masculinity in other ways. And not only am I older, but yeah, get in the damn basement. I said, what? And he's just, oh, I really didn't like how you did that. Like, I just got off of work. Like, this is not enough. This is not enough. This is really, really overstepping boundaries. And the fact that none of the wives, everybody's just acting like this is okay. Sean is overstepping in the worst way possible. What you're not going to do is discipline my kids in that way. I understand this and, the lying and we have to do something. But yeah, who says you get to go that far? I think that, and not even that, it's just like, yeah, remember last time I had, she was on it. You overstep and, you let her, these conversations go. What the f- are you talking about? You don't get to tell me anything. Now, if it was, like something smaller in the realm of discipline, I can get that. But full blown punishment and then reprimanding me for talking out of turn to my own daughter because she's supposed to have her ass downstairs because she gonna punish me because I said so is insane. The way I would have backhanded Sean in the mouth.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off about Tyler. I was like, you are weak. Like, so you mean to tell me if he was beating the brakes off her, you're just gonna let that ride? To me, it's like he has no jurisdiction. And even later, he says something very kind of passive aggressive, like those are my kids. Well, y'all already agreed that those are y'all kids. My thing is call them out in the moment. Like, no, 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 itty bitty, you can stay right here. Daddy's talking to you until he's done talking to you. Like, what you would never do is disrespect me as far as it relates to my children. That is crazy as hell to me. And so I can definitely see the issues are going to bubble up and rise. Sean doesn't respect Tyler, just like I don't respect Tyler at this point.
Tyler gives, like, you know what, it really pissed me off. What you're not gonna do is remove your wife from the home with the good vagina. So I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be cool because at night on Tuesdays I want to go in that room. Like, I need you to let them kids and how they're being treated trump your little sexual desire, Tyler.
Yeah.
Around there fixing stuff.
And all you do is make faces and go around and tell all the women what just happened. What are they going to do? And Taya said, well, I stay out of it because they want you to pick sides and that just gets messy. So I just sit over here and mind my business. And Alysia, who's the bio mom, I would have at least thought, since she's type A, whatever. But she says during this episode that, Tyler will do what she asks. But Sean over here on the right tells her what she needs before she knows she needs it. I said, huh? She said, he tells me what I need before I know I need it. Sis, how you know you need it then? Like, it's very controlling, like you want to be dominated, girl. Is that what it is? Does he dominate you? Is he a dom?
He is it, girl. What I wasn't gonna do is sit up here with these white folks talking about who's a good kisser and who's lacking an upper lip. Say, first of all, don't none of y'all asses have an upper lip. What are we talking about? Like,
Girl, look, I said, where's the lip?
she's like, well, he has to pucker, but he does. I said, don't none of y'all have no lips. What are you talking about, ma'am? It's good.
Crazy as hell, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot going over here. But yeah, it's got to be beyond henpecked for me because Sean has a hold over everybody in this house. I don't know what goes on over there, but Sean, I feel like he's the boss. He's who's the boss. He's Charles in charge.
Oh, it's a punk. I'm like, it's Sean, because if Sean was the suggestion and I'm assuming that this is probably actually like Sean's home, like, are y'all all just, all of that. I think he's probably, the bigger breadwinner. Tyler brought the D and he fixes things. He's good with his hands. He's a quiet, submissive fixer. Punk.
A punk. He a punk. Listen, it's just a lot, y'all. I want to know from you. Can this work, and predictions for the season, girl? What can this work? Can this dynamic as it stands, as we've seen in episode 1, can it stand the test of time? Can this work? And what are your predictions for this season?
They ain't gonna make it. They're not gonna make it. It's gonna get worse before it gets any better because they're not talking. Nobody's really sharing how they're feeling completely. The fact that we embarked on having even more smaller children and we're delusional, like, we don't have to worry about who the pappy is. We're just all gonna, because we don't want to create any tension in the home. We don't want to deal with those problems. Like, what? If it's a problem for you guys to know who the father of the child is, maybe we shouldn't have no damn kids. That's an issue. Look at them. I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall in their bedroom. Child, that's bad. Then of course we see certain things in the trailer that we're not surprised by, like Alyssa going, I met a new friend. I want to know, like, that's what we see the problems that come in when you decide to open up your marriage, because it's like, oh, we're poly, we're the little quad, and we're this. But the moment you open it up even just a little bit, it's easier for the other partner to go, what, I kind of like what I see over there. If this is okay, I'm sure that's probably okay too. We can adjust. we adjusted to this. Maybe I want to invite somebody else when they know that they are avidly kind of against that and trying to just do this. But that's the thing when you venture off into these poly situations with the desire of lust and sex, even though they said like now it's not that,
It is.
eventually that gets boring. And if you're there for the lust and the sexiness and the newness of it all, you're going to want a new person.
Yeah, it's only logical. I was like, oh yeah, girl, y'all gonna be whatever. I don't know what it was after quad, honey, but something. It'll just be open again, and y'all just will have people running in and out of your house. It's very odd. Sean is jealous of Tyler, so he has to put his foot down in some area, and that's the kids. Yeah, because Tyler all they daddy. He got to do something. And it, like I said, I think in any situation, you're going to get the dynamics of control and leadership, whether it's two people, whether it's six people, whether it's 10, somebody's going to rise to the top as a leader and take that on. And Sean has kind of bulldozed it. But who would want Tyler as a leader at this point? He's so mealy mouthed. Like, I don't like no whining, weepy man. What are you doing?
I think once that baby pops out, once she tries to stroll her ass in there with an additional partner or say like I want to explore other things, I think Tyler gonna open his mouth then. Because now you gonna take away the coochie? Not the coochie. That was my whole reason for coming up over here. Like, oh, we gotta do something about this. This isn't okay. I think he'll open his mouth then.
He
But
better.
I just hate the delusion because as soon as something goes down, and that's what any parent, I don't care if you're married or you're a partner or blah, blah, blah. If you come into a relationship with children, if all of these children are Tyler's children, the moment something pops off and a separation happened, the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth is, "Those are my kids."
And is. Because this episode, that's my child. That's my child, sir. Who do you think you're talking to? But yeah, this is going to end in failure. This is going to end in heartbreak and divorce and misery. I don't know if it's going to be the second season or the third season, but this is going to be a train wreck because I don't think it was built on a foundation of love and planning. They were all hot in the box. This was exploration that they got really comfortable with. Now, I could see them splitting off and doing their own thing. Again, I just think it's traumatizing for the kids to introduce this many people into their lives, have them hold such a sacred space like a parent, and then, it all go to hell in a handbasket because after all is said and done, like you said, the bio parents are going to fight like hell in a court of law. It would get nasty. It would get terrible. Yeah.
Even if you're, I love how you just put stuff on people. Ashley says he's infertile.
Yeah, I believe it.
Let's just say like one of these children is his child. Like this is Ashley, get that man some sperm that works. Why you?
I don't think so.
Why? Sometimes things just happen when it happened. Who knows? They could have been, she could have been on birth control at those times. We don't have enough information just to say that Sean can't handle babies.
It's my theory, allegedly. It's my theory.
Oh Lord. But I think, that's just really messy to have it where like if it is one or two that is, you've grown attachment to these children just as quickly and then you gotta let them go.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put myself into this situation. Like, I wouldn't put myself into the thing. And like I said, whether you agree with the lifestyle or not, like, I feel like it just becomes 10 times harder when you're bringing in existing kids that are already 5, 6, 7, 10 years old into this situation versus a child that's born already into a poly life. Like, I just think it's confusion. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's utter and complete chaos and confusion. But hey, kids make everything more complicated in this world. But I think this is going to crash and burn. Like I said, they could split off and go with their girlfriends, boyfriends. But as far as the couples, the marriages that we came into here with in this quad situation, I don't think it's got the longevity, Tyra. I just don't believe it. But y'all, that was POLYFAMILY episode 1, season 1, episode 1. I wonder if they're going to bring in some new families next season or if this is going to be it because there's a lot of poly people out here, Tyra.
Are they gonna make it through multiple seasons? I feel like decisions are gonna be made by the end of the season.
I'm fooling around with Sean. He ain't come to play with them. He's not playing. So if something don't go his way, I think he's out of there. Tyra, anything you want to let the people know about? Because we actually have a live here in just a few short minutes.
Yeah. this is reality TV day. So if you watch the Poly Family, if you watch Love After Lockup, if you watch the Never Ever Mets, we will be, Lord,
Here all night. We're here all night.
here all night with the watch along for the rest of them to get into that hot mess. So join us in the Discord to do both of those things, because I'm sure it's gonna go downhill from here.
Yeah, this was the high note, believe it or not, y'all. And yes, Dominique, I saw you guys in the chat, and thank y'all for letting him know what it is. But when we come in Discord, it's completely random, but Tyra and myself always alert everyone. We either alert, if it's a members only, we alert all the members. If it's a watch and chill situation, we always at everyone. So if your notifications on, you should be getting those in the Discord. We've been in there thick for the past week or two. We've been in there daily, nightly. So yeah, just make sure you have your notifications on, because we alert everybody. We do our best to do that. But y'all, thanks so much for being here. Tomorrow night, we have Raising Canaan. We have Blockbuster Movie Night, where we will be watching New Jack City. I'm going to leave y'all with that, and we will be back in about 8 to 10 minutes to hop into Love After Lockup. Jesus, Lord, Tyra, what is gonna do, Tyra? What is gonna do?
I'm excited because somebody needs to go down for the chaos. You don't come out of prison with this mess. Be grateful that somebody cared enough to take your little ass in.
Lord, we're gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna leave you guys with New Jack City's promo, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for being here.
Rich in the Reagan era.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Y'all didn't have the chances that you had, Miss Hall.
Yo, baby, we talking about combinate and consolidate.
I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, Miss Hall. And I wouldn't want to be. I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof.